I was also going to be on GCF. So we're going to bring this down here and we're just going to call it C. Alright, so what if I throw in 3 terms and I say, let me back up. Let's just practice 2 more like this. How about that? Let's practice 2 more like this, and then we'll add some more stuff to it. Because it's been a weekend, and you've been away from me, and God knows what you've done, and I'm sure we've forgotten. So just in case, let's have a refresher course. So if my problem says 25b plus 30c squared, and b to the 4th. Let's just go crazy. So remember, the first thing we do is we find the biggest number that goes into both 25 and 30. And what's the biggest number that goes into both 25 and 30? It's 5. So we bring that to the outside. Now, do they have any variables in common? So we write our parentheses. Alright, now what's 25 divided by 5? And since we didn't take any variables out, we bring v to the 4th down. Plus, alright, now we do 30 divided by 5, which gives us, and then we bring down c squared. They don't have anything else in common, so we're done. So everybody remember that lesson from Friday. Alright. Do you want to try one like this without me real quick? Just to be safe? Okay. Let's do 16e squared minus 24f. Are we ready or do we need a mo?
Alright, we're ready.
Another minute? Okay. No worries. No rush. Pardon?
I think it's still good.
Are we ready? Okay. What's the biggest number that goes into both 16 and 24? The biggest number that goes into both of those is 8. Alright. Now, do they have any letter in common?
No.
Okay. Bronson, can you tell me what's going to be on the inside of the parentheses?
Yes. 2e squared. Minus 3.
Good job. Take a point. Did anybody else get that right? Take a point. Alright guys, what happened? Why didn't we get that right?
Oh, I did. I just removed my hand.
Okay. If you don't raise your hand, you can't take a point, can you? What happened on that one?
I did 4 and 7.
Hmm.
And 4 and 7.
Oh, okay. So if you did 4, then you got 4 and 6 on the inside, right? Okay. So when you get that, do 4 and 6 have a number in common? 2 goes into those, right? So that's the great thing that can help you. Is if you don't have the biggest and you look at it and you're like, well, I'm not sure about that. 2 and 3 are prime numbers and they don't have anything in common, so that's why that one works. Now, so if you had this and you had 4e squared minus 6f, and you looked at that and you were like, they have something in common. You can then take a 2 out of these and do 2 times 4 and get 8, and then divide everything by 2, and you still get the same thing. So if you do that, if you get stuck there, look and see if they have anything in common, okay? Y'all want to do one more? Let's practice one more. Alright. Let's do, Humana. 18x minus 12y cubed. All right, 18x minus 12y cubed. Are we ready?
Yes.
Okay. Are we ready now?
Yes.
Alright, what's the biggest number that goes into 18 and 12? 6. Yes. Awesome.
I chose 3.
Well, okay. Hold on. 18 divided by 6 is?
3.
And 12 divided by 6 is?
2.
Alright, so if we chose 3, you would get 6x minus 4y cubed, right? And do 6 and 4 have something in common? They do. It's 2. You would have to take 2 out. Maybe don't be looking at your phone.
I got the same answer.
No, baby, this is our final answer.
Oh, never mind. Well, why?
You were looking at your phone when I explained that.
But,
So do 6 and 4 have something in common?
yeah.
What?
I don't know.
You don't know what number goes into both 6 and 4?
2.
Look at you go. And what's 3 times 2?
6.
Okay. And what's 6 divided by 2?
3,
And what's 4 divided by 2?
2,
Dun 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 dun. Did anybody pick a different number other than 6 or 3? Okay. Are we ready to move on, or do we need... What did you pick? Do you see why 2 doesn't work? Okay, what did you pick? Well, 9 doesn't go into 12.
Oh, wait, I was doing 8. My bad. Look.
Okay. Are we ready? Can we move on, or do we need to do... Let's do one more. I don't know if yay is the correct word. Okay. Let's do 45 c cubed plus 60 d. The biggest number. That's why it's called greatest common factor. Are we ready? Does anybody need a mo? Alright, what's the biggest number that goes into 45 and 60? 15! Did everybody get 15? Hallelujah! Alright, what's 45 divided by 15? And what's 60 divided by 15? What now? Yay! Did we all get that right?
no,
Why?
I said 5.
Okay, I can't.
I don't know why I took 5.
I said the biggest, too.
I know, but I don't know.
Okay, baby, well, if you choose 5, you got 9 and what?
12.
And those have something in common.
What?
3.
This is confusing.
Why?
Because some of them, so if they have some, so then you go back until you have something in common.
Yes.
So then,
That's why we choose the greatest number.
so then I did 9 times what?
3.
And then 12 times 3.
Divide, but yes.
We divide them?
Yes, factoring is division. Super proud. Okay, now the other step that we added, or that we did on Friday, that we're going to review because you guys are scaring the bejesus out of me, was what happens if we have 2 of the same variable. So if I give you a problem, and we're just going to start off baby. If I give you a problem that says 4x to the 5th plus 6x squared. Oh. 4x to the 5th plus 6x squared.
Can you class on our own.
We're just waiting on me to explain. I just took a breath for a moment. Okay, now remember, you find the biggest number that goes into both 4 and 6. And what's the biggest number that goes into 4 and 6?
2.
2. And then you take the smallest exponent. Because they have x's in common, you take the smallest exponent. So what's smaller, 5 or 2? So we write x squared. And then you do your parentheses. And since we have 2 terms here, how many are we going to have in our parentheses? 2. Fantastic. Alright, what's 4 divided by 2? And then if you have 5 x's and you take out 2, how many are left over? 3. Does everybody see how we got that? Are we sure? Okay, now what's 6 divided by 2? And if you have 2 x's and you take out 2, how many are left over? 0. And that's your final answer. Anybody have any questions? Do you want to do one more together, or do you want to try it without me?
Together.
Together? Okay.
No, I choose to do it without you.
If you can work without me, then work without me. Alright, so let's do 10a to the 6th minus 15a cubed. So what's the biggest number that goes into 10 and 15? And what's the smallest exponent? Now you're going to divide both of those terms by 5a cubed. So what's 10 divided by 5? And if you have 6 a's and you take out 3, how many are left?
3.
What's 15 divided by 5? And if you have 3 a's and you take out 3, how many are left? Look at us go. Can we please do one without me now?
Yeah.
Are we ready, or do we need to move?
Move it.
Why is this document 75 pages? Alright, I'm coming over here to 26b because I'm out of room. You may not be out of room, so you're welcome to just keep on keeping on. Also, remember how our work was on the right, or our foldable was on the right? I did not want you to write on the left because we may have more of our table of contents to put here.
Okay.
Just in case.
Oh, I missed
And that's why I say to flip the page, and I'm very specific on when I say to flip the page. But just, you know, no judgment, all God's children. Power to the people. Alright, I want you to try this one without me. We're going to do 2 more like this, and then we're moving on, babies. We got to go, because this is the same thing we did Friday. Austin. This video is going to be awesome of my coughs. Of me saying Austin.
I'm confused.
No,
I
you
don't
are
know-
not.
I don't know what the biggest number is. Where does it go into? 2. 2. Do 2.
I'm ignoring you. Like, you should be able to divide without me. You're in the 10th grade.
I know I can, but
Are you sure?
I don't know.
Good job. You're doing good.
I'm confused again.
Alright, taters was the biggest. Oh my god.
Not yet. Do this. Nope, I'm next.
Did y'all get that? Is it okay that the 6 comes first instead of the 7? Normally we would want them in the other way, but it's fine. We don't care. All God's children.
I do. I'm just kidding.
Una más, and then we're moving on.
I'm a failure.
How?
I don't know.
What are you confused about?
Wait, what? Why'd you put a backwards J? I'm confused.
Is this real life? Do you know what letter comes after H?
I.
That's an I. You've been in my room for 2 years.
Yeah, but we
You
usually
know
don't
that's
know.
how I write my I's.
I've never seen your eyes until.
And that's what you're confused on?
What? No, I just looked up and I saw it. Wait, I'm good. Let's go to the next one.
Good job.
I don't even know how to feel about life right now. Okay. 36 e to the 9th minus 24 e to the 5th. So in case you forgot, from the 45 other problems we've done, find the biggest number that divides into both 36 and 24, and then take the smallest exponent.
Is there anything that's supposed to be between 24 and 26? Or just like,
This is the page number. Okay. There's no hope for the future.
Wait, what?
Are we ready?
No, I'm almost done. Like, I'm almost done. I feel good on this one.
Good as that you got it wrong, or
Alright, I'm ready.
Is anyone else not ready? Okay. What's the biggest number that goes into both 36 and 24? 12 is the biggest. You need the biggest. Okay. And what's our smaller exponent? Alright, so then 36 divided by 12 is 3.
3.
If you have 9 e's and you take out 5, how many are left?
4.
24 divided by 12 is?
2.
Dun, 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 dun. How many of us got that right?
You got it right.
Take a point. Good job.
Good job, Austin.
Good job, Austin. You go, Glen Coco.
What?
You've never seen Mean Girls?
Yes.
I just didn't know what you said.
You go, Glen Coco.
No, I never seen it.
It's a sad, sad life you lead. Okay, I feel like we need to do one on us. Because y'all aren't getting them right. So until we get it right, we're going to keep practicing. That is the point of math class, is to practice until... Surrounded by geniuses.
Back then you never did this much.
Because we got it before. And now we just acting like we don't know how to divide.
It's been a weekend.
Alright. This is problem K, and then we're going back to our foldable. This week, I just can't. Alright, so 17 x to the 4th minus 34x squared. Yes. Yes.
I'll leave my thing. You want me to leave it open to the
Thank you very much.
wall.
When did you do that?
I don't know.
You did.
Probably because I look like death today.
Yeah.
I tried on this one. I got it wrong. I tried.
I'm sorry, did you look in the mirror when you said that?
Yes. Me and Adam both look in the mirror. Not right, buddy.
What's the biggest number that goes into both 17 and 34? 17, and what's your smallest
Oh,
exponent?
then I got it right.
The problem's not even finished yet.
Did you get it right? Yeah. Oh, thank all the gods. Let's move on.
I got it right.
Oh, okay. We can have this argument if you want to.
Let's have this argument.
Okay. I can make you cry.
Make me cry. I don't cry.
Me too.
I shed blood tears. Blood game. I just playing no game. Don't shoot me. I'm the most innocent black man.
Who is he talking to? Is he talking to you or me?
I don't know. She look like she's throwing hands.
She's going down.
He's assuming just because you're from Birmingham that you're in a gang. That's what he's doing.
Birmingham City scare me. On God it does. I put that on everything I love. Birmingham is
I'm a little more, never mind. Okay, let's go to these. Now, what is the difference between what we just did and these problems?
These are different problems. Others are different.
They have two variables. Take a point. You don't do anything different. You still take the smallest exponent, but you take the smallest exponent of each variable. So, what's the biggest number that goes into both 8 and 6? 2. Okay? And then you take your smallest variable of your a. Now we're going to do our smallest exponent rather of both a and b. So what's smaller, 2 or 1?
1.
Okay. Now let's look at our b's. They both have a b in it. So what's smaller, 2 or 1?
1.
So we bring out a 2ab. Does everybody see how I did that?
Good.
It's nothing crazy, is it?
Nope.
All right. What's 8 divided by 2?
4.
If you have 2 a's and you take out 1, how many are left over? If you have 1 b and you take out 1, how many are left over? None. And then we move on to our next term. Does everybody see how I did that? Okay. Now, 2 was 6 divided by 2. All right. If you have 1 a and you take out 1, how many are left over?
No.
If you have 2 b's and you take out 1, how many are left over? And that's it.
Oh no.
Do example 4 without me.
Is that a homework?
No.
I got notes. I'm good. Do we have homework?
What happened?
Thank you, guys.
Heart racing.
I'm done.
Alright, what do you want to see?
We ready? What's the biggest number that goes into 20 and 4?
10!
4.
What?
Oh!
You were so confident though. Alright, now of our x's, what's smaller, 2 or 1?
1.
Of our y's, what's
1.
smaller, 2 or 1?
I got that right.
Alright, what's 20 divided by 4?
4.
5. And if you have 2 x's, you take out 1, you've got 1 left over. If you have 2 y's and you take out 1, you've got 1 left over. And we take out this whole term, so all that's left is a 1.
Do we have homework? No.
Did anybody get that right? Good. Alright, so now what I want us to do is we're going to practice one with 3 terms, and then that's going to help you be able to do your activity tomorrow. Okay? So you still do the same thing. It's
Where would
not
you like
anything crazy. On my desk. So we're going to call this problem L. Come back over here. Problem L. Alright. So we're going to call this 10 a squared b squared minus 15 a b squared plus 5 a squared b. Now, you still do the same thing. We are, except you have to divide into all 3 terms. So what's the biggest number that goes into all 3 of those? Okay, thank you. I can't really hear y'all. If you talk before I finish, I can't hear you. Alright, now what's smaller? Of all of our A's, 2, 1, or 2?
1.
Okay, of our B's, 2, 2, or 1? Okay, so then you're just going to divide each term by that. So if you have 3 in your problem, you're going to end with 3 in your parentheses. So what's 10 divided by 5? And if you have 2 A's and you take out 1, how many are left over? If you have 2 B's and you take out 1, how many are left over? Alright, now divide the other 2 terms without me. Did y'all get minus 3B plus A? Look at you go. No homework since we did so much today. Tomorrow you're going to have 2 assignments. Remember, I won't be here.
Up to 1.
The A? That's fine.